peek down the alleyway. You can basically, you know, during the operation of the aircraft, from where you're standing all the way out to engine number 8, which is the last engine, it's about 92 feet. That's inside the wing. We have engine number 5 right behind this big bubble here. That's actually a storage tank for additional fuel. You couldn't just feed those hungry engines from the main storage up to the engine. Pratt & Whitney motors have a tendency to get a little hungry. When they start up and they fire and they backfire and flame out, it eats up a lot of fuel. So in order to just even get the airplane engine to go, you'd have to have an additional storage tank. If you'd like to sneak a peek, you're more than welcome. Now in that hatch that you're looking through, believe it or not, wingtip to wingtip, 320 feet. The very farthest part of the wing, inside of the wing you can go to, is about 3.5 feet tall.
Oh, okay.
But you could actually climb into the center of the wing through this hatch, where when you're standing on the floor looking up at the top of the wing, it's 11 feet tall.
Oh, okay.
In the middle of the wing is 11 feet through that hatchery. Right now it's not currently lit up. We're in the process of getting that area restored so that we can finally kind of demonstrate how tall you actually are inside that area. Now I gather you are the aviation enthusiast.
Yes.
You've been waiting to do this, right?
Yes.
Come with me, please. Go ahead and have a seat, Connor's chair, please. Some things I want you to do. Feet forward. And then put your left hand, yep, you got it. Left hand up on the wheel, the right hand up on all 8 of those controls. You have about 24,000 horsepower of engine rumbling through your fingers at that control. Go ahead and remove your mask. Okay? Look over toward me. Smile. You're on candid camera. Go ahead and grab some pictures. Go ahead and keep your mask off. That's fine.
So they just had a little bit of water and coffee or something there? Is that what that is?
Pretty much. One of our docents, when we received the aircraft, and they were going through box after box after box and box and box of stuff, they came across these rusted out, dented containers. Well, after doing about 1,500 hours of their own time and energy in restoring them, they did a little research and found out even Howard had to have his morning coffee and water. You know, it's just one of those small luxurious items for the aircraft that you didn't think of until, you know, they did their research and found out what they were actually used for.
Oh, yeah.
You have any questions up there?
Nope.
Kind of taking it in? There you go. If you want to go sneak a peek, go for it. You have any questions so far?
No.
No, just kind of taking it in. Lots, a lot to take in.
That sounds that classic sort of,
Yes.
you know, yeah.
Yep.
People were a lot smaller back then, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just a wee bit.
It's just,
Even Howard, you know, he had a small physique, but he was about 6'2".
6'2".
in height. She is definitely in need of a day at the spa, so pardon the dust.
oh, no worries.
We are in the process of completing some of our honeydew lists as we're trying to restore the aircraft and get her nice.
Chiz.
Cheers.
Chiz, he says. Oi!
Yes, one of our busiest flight engineers was sitting at this area here monitoring all 8 engines from oil pressure, fuel pressure, water, whatever it was, all the way down to speed, and actually had the capability with that joystick to be able to add or decrease thrust on the power of the engine. And if necessary, if they weren't hearing it from Howard, they were able to shut the engine down. They also had to monitor all the fuel tanks. They had to monitor all of the hydraulic systems.
You can kind of see, like in the Concorde plane, how they would have to have the engineer just flipping a lot of switches and sitting there and monitoring everything.
Yep. But I can tell you this right now, during the entire flight, from 1, 2, and 3, all the tests, taxi tests, Howard had complete control of the aircraft. At no point did he have to send a signal to a mechanic or an engineer. He had full control, and all these guys were doing was sitting back, watching all their gauges, and everything was reading perfectly. That's how well developed and designed, the systems were for the aircraft. Even though there were 4 backup systems. You had the master controls, secondary, you had the third controls back here, and then down in the cargo were the 4th and final controls, where if they were not recognizing a command that Howard was giving from the pilot chair, they can go ahead and make that adjustment. As things were happening, they were watching everything like clockwork. When Howard would give thrust to engine number 6, they would see this joystick move without any problems. Now today it doesn't move. During the initial taxi test, if you put a little bit of power on one of the engines, like a ghost, that joystick would move, showing that Howard had complete control of the aircraft. Watch your step.
Oh. Oh, pardon me, sir.
Do you have any questions? Still just kind of taking it in, huh?
Yep.
Well, how old are you?
10, 11 turning 12.
11 turning 12. Well, I was 6 years old the first time I got to sit in that seat. When my great uncle took me into the